This episode of the Rock and a Hard Place podcast is brought to you by Tweaked Audio at tweakedaudio.com. Loads of styles and colors to choose from. Use the code HARDPLACE to get 33% off your order. That's tweakedaudio.com.
This is the Rock and a Hard Place podcast.
I'd sit this one out, Cap.
I don't see how I can.
These guys come from legend. They're basically gods.
There's only one God, man. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
And now, here are your hosts, Chris Cougar and Paul Gibson.
That's right, everybody. We are your hosts of this Rock and a Hard Place podcast, and we certainly do enjoy it. My name is Chris. That guy over there, his name is Paul. And if we didn't like doing this, we wouldn't do it anymore, would we, Paul?
No, most definitely not.
So last week, it was blazing hot here, and I was trying to get out of the studio when we were all finished recording last week. And as I was trying to finish up my editing and stuff, I decided to click around and see what other blabs happened to be open at the time, other people that were doing stuff. And I happened to click on this one. I don't remember what it was called anymore, but it was a guy and a girl, and they were watching music videos. And this girl's like, oh, I love this next song. It's talking about being a psychopath, and I absolutely love it, and it's fantastic, and I love that it talks about being a psychopath. I'll give you a guess what song that we would both know that they might be referring to.
It's not the song "Psycho Killer," is it?
No.
Oh, okay. Is this a song that would have had some direct context for both of us?
Well, yeah. It's a band that we both know very well.
Is it 12 Stones Feel Like a Psycho?
No, it's Skillet's Monster.
Oh. Okay.
So they're playing the music video, and she's just like, yeah, I feel like a monster. It's about psychopaths, and that's awesome. And she, sips her beverage or whatever. And I felt like popping in and going, the song's actually not about being a psychopath. It's about sin nature and how it kind of just sits down inside of you. And I was like, you know what? It's not worth wasting my time right now. So I just closed out and I finished up and went downstairs. I thought that was fun. I thought that was quite funny.
Yes. It's like well, what's the word? It's just the term is it's just not fair to have a battle of wits with someone who's unarmed.
Right. I refuse to have a battle of wits with an unarmed person.
Yeah, there you go.
So, my goodness. Well, we've got quite a bit of stuff going on today, which I'm excited about. We have a new feature that we're going to do in a little while, kind of a main topic, but not really a topic, more of a premiere, I guess, would be the way to look at it. But we do have a little bit of news and some other stuff to go through. So let's say we kick it off. Paulie?
Okie dokie. Do you want to start at the beginning? Do you have the document open?
Yeah, I've got the document in front. Let's begin at the beginning. That's a good place to begin.
Cool. Well, just since we had the special stuff, I just want to make sure that you were all prepped and everything.
Sure.
I want to make sure you have a heads up.
I'm all good.
Right in. So Skillet releasing a new music video today for "I Feel Invincible," and it's pretty tight. I like it.
Yeah, I was I had it playing in the room here when Paul logged in, and it's a really good video. I mean, there's a lot of different. There's like a samurai warrior and some other costumed folks that are doing stuff, and Jen looks costumed folks. So I don't know what they all are. They're folks in costumes.
There are human beings in otherworldly garments.
Yes.
They are very odd compared to everybody else in the shot, and we don't know who they are.
Isn't that what I said? Costumed folks? I think I just said it a little more succinctly than you did.
Yes, yes, that is what you said. Oh, backwoods man. You're one of the costumed folks, are you? Oh.
Yes, one of those cosplayers. Nothing against
people very obviously got lost on the way to Comic-Con who are also in the video.
Yes, that's exactly right. Oh my goodness. No, but I mean the video looked really cool. You see Jen back there killing it on the drums, and she's like flexing as she's hitting the drums and looks like a beast. And it's hard to believe that I don't think she is above 5 feet tall, honestly.
Right.
She's just this teeny tiny little thing that can wail on the drums. And again, every time I hear her sing on a song, I wonder how long is she going to be with Skillet until she ends up getting a solo career, you know?
Or even if she sticks with Skillet, it seems like the temptation would be there just to release like a solo record, even if she doesn't want to tour with it, just to put out something. But some people that just isn't their thing.
Yeah, totally. Well, have you seen the documentary on Netflix, 20 Feet from Stardom?
Yes, I have. It's good.
Oh, it's so good. But that's the thing, is a lot of them could be front row singers. They could be the people up front that they have the backup singers for. But they're happy being backup singers. It's a lot less pressure. They get to still perform in front of the same amount of people. They don't get paid as much, but they still get paid very, very well. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Jen just likes her position the way that it is, and she has no designs on doing something else. So that kind of makes me sad. I would pay good money for a Jen Ledger album, personally.
Yes.
So
it would be very interesting. Now, Steve, what would be cool would be to get her to join. Well, I mean, it would seem like a big step down because it's just her band as opposed to what it would have been before. But it would be cool if Jen Ledger played backup on drums for Lacey from Flyleaf and they traded off vocals.
I could dig that. I could definitely dig that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm all about that.
That's
Feed me
right.
a spoonful. I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Well, TFK, they ended up debuting at number 1 on the Christian album charts. Exhale, the new album from Canadian Christian rock band Thousand Foot Crutch, arrives at number 1 on the top Christian album, selling 14,000 copies in its launch sales week, ending June 23rd, according to Nielsen. On the all-genre consumption chart, the Billboard 200, Exhale debuted at number 34 and started at number 2 on Hard Rock and number 6 on Top Rock. The Thousand Foot Crutch, the 12-song Exhale, which is their secret to the 2014 set Oxygen Inhale, is their third top Christian album leader. Oxygen bowed at the summit, selling 19,000 copies, and their 2012 album The End Is Where We Begin was number 1 with 23,000, the band's biggest sales week to date. So kudos to them. Have you taken the time to sit and listen to the album yet, Paul?
It's good. I like it. It makes me smile.
I agree.
Especially after which I didn't dislike, but it just was not my favorite.
Well, and I've heard that from a lot of people. It was a lot slower for a TFK album, and I think that's what a lot of people struggled with is, and we've had this conversation hundreds of times. I'm sure we'll have it hundreds of times more. Artists should have the freedom to be able to experiment with their art, and sometimes that means a band putting out an album like Inhale. And then when you follow it up with something like Exhale, I think that shows that, hey, we do still want to be true to the fans, but at the same time, we've got to be true to ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thoroughly happy that they took the experiment on and gave it a shot and saw what they could do. And I don't know. I mean, to me, it didn't even feel as much like it was the fact that they were slower. I think the writing wasn't quite as good on that one for me as other records that they've had. But, and that's okay too. I mean, not everybody has to put out the best album they've ever made every single time. So,
Right. Right.
It's okay to have one that's just a deep.
Oh, I lost you.
So there you go.
All righty. Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
I don't. You're breaking up a little bit for some reason. Not sure what's going on.
Really? I'm still here. No good.
Not a fan. No, I'm not a fan of that happening either. It's not good. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you the entire time. You're coming through loud and clear.
Oh, lovely. You have just got to love the internet. It is a beautiful thing. Random Heroes, Aaron Watkins and Patrick Madsen, the drummer, they're starting a new EDM project called Pins and Needles. Paul, that's all you got here. What else is there to say?
Well, I wish there was more to say, but as of now, that's all that they have leaked. I mean, they don't mention it at all on the Random Hero page itself. They just mentioned it on Aaron's page specifically, and then they kind of shared it onto the Random Hero page. So I don't know. It's just a picture of the two of them standing back to back against a wooden wall, and it basically says what you just said, and then a ton of hashtags that are like "Welcome to the Gun Show" and "Bro Down" and "Bromance" and EDM for life, and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe they didn't say EDM for life, but the rest of it I do remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird. I think that could work for them. Of course, drummers usually are pretty good. At least make a pretty easy transition into programming, that sort of stuff. So I think that could work out well for them. Whether or not it does could be another thing. But I'm curious at the very least.
Well, Random Hero is coming through Katati. I think it's them with Viridia and Ilya, and so we'll have to ask Aaron about that once they get near the area.
Sounds good to me. Because
So
I Facebook messaged him and asked for some clarification, and I know he's seen it because I read it in the messenger. It said "seen" at this time, but he didn't respond.
oh man, that
makes me go all piratey.
Apparently. Well, if you're into old stuff like I am, then you'll be excited about this. Stryper heads out on the 30th anniversary tour of To Hell with the Devil. They're going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the multi-platinum album To Hell with the Devil this fall with a world tour. Was released back in October of 1986, and it's the third studio album, the first Christian metal album to achieve platinum status. I need to find out how close to me they are going to be, because I have never ever seen them live, and I need to find a way to get out to see them.
Yeah, I just saw a post from somebody who I'm guessing was probably my age or younger on Facebook, who apparently is a big Stryper fan, who just saw them for the first time live on this tour, and he was like, "Oh, they were so much better than I could have even imagined."
Yeah, they are definitely consummate showmen when it comes to that kind of stuff. They are quite energetic. I mean, I watched a video that we got sent. Tim forwarded it on to me. It was them live at the Whiskey, and I tell you, they move like they're 25-year-old guys up on that stage. It's quite amazing how much of the space they command. You see a lot of these older bands like Journey and that kind of stuff, and they don't move so much anymore. They kind of just plant themselves, but behind the microphones and stand there and play. And of course, everybody knows the music, so nobody cares because it's all still really, really good. But yeah, when you've got guys that can actually command the stage and walk the stage and do things like that at their age, I think it's quite impressive.
Amen to that.
So,
amen.
Good.
And by the way, I was 5 when that album came out.
Is that? Shut up. Oh my goodness. Well, Project 86 has a new crowdfunding campaign, and Garrett is going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with that.
Hi, I'm Garrett Godfrey from the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast with a heads up about a couple current crowdfunding campaigns you might be into. Last week, Captain Kirk and Chris mentioned that Project 86 was about to launch a new campaign. Well, they launched it on Pledge Music a couple days ago, and here are the details. They're celebrating 20 years as a band, a great hard rockin' band, and are releasing a new album with 10 new songs and an EP with 5 cover songs. When you pledge, you immediately get 1 cover song, then 4 more by September 1st, then 1 song a month until they finish the album and release it June of 2017. Plus, they're booking 15 to 20 tour dates across the country, and it will be almost entirely old material from the first 2 albums. Then there's lots of vintage merchandise for those hardcore fans to check out. $15 gets you the download versions of the new 10-song album and 5-song cover EP. $25 gets you a signed CD. $75 is signed vinyl and CD. And lots more. The opportunity for some of this rare stuff ends when the pre-order closes August 25th. So head over to Pledge Music and search for Project 86. And Royal Ruckus, a Christian hip-hop group from Bakersfield that goes back to '98, is back with a Kickstarter campaign for a new album. You can pick up one of their albums for free or name your price over at Bandcamp, and you can pick up 4 of their projects for free or leave a tip over at Noise Trade. So if you like hip-hop, check out their stuff. Leave a tip, then head over to Kickstarter and search for Royal Ruckus. ROYALRUCKUS. 2 words. This campaign closes July 23rd. If you back any of these, or if you just want to help them spread the word, be sure to let folks know about these campaigns before they close. And if you find out about a campaign I should know about, I'm on Twitter at @TheOtherCCM, or you can message the podcast page on Facebook or Google+. Until next time, remember, great music doesn't just happen. Get involved.
Awesome. Thank you, Garrett. Good stuff. I have never heard of Royal Ruckus before. Now I'm going to have to go check them out.
They were on Flickr Records, which is, of course, the label that had Fireflight for a long time.
Yeah.
And Sub 7 and, another band that I can't think of the name of, the punk band. But yeah, they were, they're funny, but it's hard to listen to their stuff more than like 3 or 4 times because it's just so goofy.
Gotcha.
Not
so
bad.
Like DJ Jazzy Jeff goofy?
Like, I'm trying to think.
Like Jeff and the Fresh Prince kind of thing? Not Will's like more like
comical goofy.
Right.
Yeah. And they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
It's 2 white guys.
Okay.
And they know they're very white. I'm trying to think of who to compare them with.
I'm gonna have to go find this. I mean, that sounds amazing in all the right in all the right and wrong ways. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. It's definitely worth checking out, especially for free. So yeah, I mean I'd recommend checking them out. Some people love them, some people hate them. They only lasted 1 record deal or 1 album on that deal with Flickr Records because it very quickly started littering up sales racks everywhere.
Yeah,
it just did not sell. But I mean, it's it's like the goofier sides of Heath McNeese, Plato, John Rubin, KJ. It's like all of imagine all of their goofy stuff, but all that.
Right.
So, it's not bad. It's goofy.
Gotcha. No, I hear you. I totally understand where you're coming from on that. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. Let's see here. Let's dive into our main. That's like it for the news, I think. That is it for the news. So, let's dive into our main little topic. First, we'll talk about our sponsor, Tweaked Audio, tweakedaudio.com. Guys, if you need a pair of headphones, do us a favor, do yourself a favor, go to tweakedaudio.com. Tons of different sizes, tons of different styles, tons of different colors. You can go check them out there. And the best part is free shipping, a lifetime warranty for your headphones. And if you use the code HARDPLACE when you check out, you help the podcast out. You get a discount, and we get a little bit of the money from the sale. So, tweakedaudio.com, use the code HARDPLACE. Let's see. So, Tim and I had the opportunity today to talk to Zine Smith. He happens to be the lead singer of the band called Fight the Fade. Now, we talked to him today because tomorrow on Broken FM at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to do the new Fight the Fade album that drops Friday as the Broken Record. Now, I asked Zine if I could have permission to play some clips from the new album tonight as kind of a preview as to what's coming. And then if you want to hear the whole album, well, you've got 2 choices. You can either go to Broken FM tomorrow night at 6 and listen online, or you can go buy the album, which, of course, is what I would encourage you to do to support this band. It's going to be available anywhere they sell music, so make sure you go and check it out. But I kind of thought I would, give it a listen. And, Paul, I know you've probably heard the single Falling. There's a new single that they're just now getting around to releasing that is called Lanterns in the Dark. That's on this album also. We'll talk about that. But Falling is the only one that you've heard so far, right?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So, in listening tonight, there's a lot of bright spots, I think, to this album. Zine said it's a little bit different. I sent him the link. I was really hoping he'd have time to come in, but he may have to work. Zine said that this album's a little bit different for them. They've got what they call ballads on. After listening to it, I don't know how ballady they sound, honestly, but there's portions of some of their songs that are a little bit slower than what they've done in the past. But let's get through these. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. The first song is called The Edge of Desire, and just so you know, the album is self-titled. They've had 2 or 3 other albums out already. I think 2 albums and an EP. And they decided that this one encapsulated Fight the Fade the best, and so they just released it as a self-titled album instead of that being the first album that ever gets released. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
So this is Edge of Desire. This is off of the new album, self-titled, Fight the Fade. Here we go.
You're at the edge of desire, but you're reaching higher. Nothing can slow us down. Yeah, there's no stopping now. Yeah. I know you've been told.
All right, Paul, what do you think?
I'm on board. I like it. It's I can't quite place who I think his vocals are similar to. It reminds me of somebody, but I can't think of who. And not to say that it even matters. I mean, everybody's distinctive, but I think that it's good though. I like the guitars. I like kind of the it's not really a growl, it's just kind of it's a higher vocal but with some grit to it. I like it.
Zine definitely has he's got a good voice, but it's also unique in that he's got kind of that what's the word I'm thinking of? There is Kurt Cobain. It's got kind of that gravel to his voice. It's not as pronounced as it is in Kurt's vocal, but it's definitely there to a degree. So
it's kind of a raspy singing as opposed to like a screaming or a yelling or a growling.
Right.
Well, I guess it might be close to a yelling, but in a more melodic way.
Exactly. And he definitely can scream. They don't do it a lot on their albums, but he has had a couple of songs where he's gotten a bit screamy on it. But it's enough to where it hasn't been a drawback to the song for me. I'm not a big screamo type fan on a regular basis, but the way that they've worked it out is it's just a little bit to help kind of emphasize the point, and then they drop back into the singing portion of it, which I'm totally fine with. So, good deal. Now, this is track 2. This is the new single that's going to be hitting the airwaves very, very soon. It's called Lanterns, and then in parentheses it says In the Dark. So once again, Fight the Fade, Lanterns in the Dark. Check this one out.
If I'm gonna sit outside the shadows, I'm gonna need a lantern that burns brighter than the day, brighter than the pain that's raging through my heart, coursing through my veins, coursing through my veins. I don't know what you heard about me.
Now that one, I don't know if it was just because of the way it was coming through the stream, or if it sounds that way in person too. But it sounded almost like there was kind of like almost like a chorus on some of the vocals there, and he almost sounded a little bit like Kevin Young from Disciple there.
Oh, okay.
But not a bad thing, though. I'm all about that. And if more people sound like Kevin from Disciple, I would like music a lot better.
I know. Make our job a lot easier, wouldn't it?
That's good.
Yeah, if more people sounded like Kevin, it'd make our job easier.
Absolutely. For sure.
Good. Yeah, I enjoyed that one as well. And of course, I mean, these are only 30-second snippets of the songs, so it's going to be really hard to judge the whole thing. based off of that, that was more closer to the chorus of that particular song. It starts out a little more melodic in the beginning.
Right.
So I hit you kind of in the middle of it.
I'm okay with that. I can work with that.
Of course. Track 3 is called Colder. Here we go. So there you get a little more melodic tone out of his voice. So, I don't know.
Melodic?
Melodic.
There you go.
Melodic, whatever. You know what I mean.
I do, but it just kind of took me off guard there for a second. Yeah, and there, it's funny, because I see what you mean about the whole, like, slight similarity to Kurt Cobain. There, to me, his voice sounds kind of like somewhere in between Kurt Cobain and the lead singer for Seether and Kevin Young from Disciple, all of whom I like. So I'm digging that track, and I like the electronic elements to that too. I think that really gives it a nice texture, and I think everybody's trying to figure out exactly what to do to keep rock and roll relevant, which is sad that it needs to be made relevant. But
right.
I'm all about that, though. I mean, I think that when bands use some keyboard and some programming in there and use it smart, then it's good.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a few other songs where you'll pick up on some electronics in there to just kind of help, fill in the gaps, I guess, to give it that nice bed for the guitar and everything to really be able to stand on. And it's not in a bad way. It's not like, and I don't mean this in a bad way at all. Like Satellites and Sirens, very electronic heavy, but it's not like that. That's how Sats and Sirens wants to sound. They want that kind of synth pop feel to a lot of their stuff. Or a bit like, what is it? Is it Danger Scene with I Want to Be Famous? Is that that's definitely got a lot of that synth pop going on in the background of it. So not in a bad way. It's good if you are okay with that kind of sound. Not everybody likes that.
Which I don't know. I'm one of those people who kind of like, it's sad because I'm probably in the wrong business to have this kind of attitude, but I tend to be kind of a rather defensive person. Like I can be on the fence about something completely, and somebody's like, man, I hate that. It's terrible. I'm just like, come on, guy. It's like, and I don't even really care, but
right.
For instance, I've gotten in the habit now of once it gets close to closing the fan favorite poll, I'll put up a graphic that will be like, this is the current top 3 or top 4 if it's close, and I'll show the bands. And somebody commented underneath one of them for this week and was like, tagged somebody else and was like, hey, have you heard of these top 2 bands? And the person who got tagged in it was like, no. And then the first person replied again, man, how did these 2 bands get up there? Because they are TERRIBLE. And the other person wrote back and like, yep, agreed. And I'm just going,
ow.
Like, come on, don't be a troll.
Are you going to say who the first 2 bands were?
But it's okay. It's like, you don't have to voice your opinion on Facebook. I know that's big news to everybody, but still.
What do you mean I can't voice my opinion on Facebook? Isn't that what it's there for?
Yes, it is for you to. It's like, it's going to get to the point within the next 6 months. If we keep going where we're going, especially with an election on the way, it's just going to get called Troll Book.
Yeah, pretty much. Or maybe it'll be Trump Book.
Oh,
oh, we're going to get letters about that one, that's for sure.
The logo will have the hair.
That's right. Well, I'm thinking about buying one of those wigs. I'm getting too thin on top, so I either need to go bald or I need to get a Trump wig. One of the two.
Dude, we need to both. We need to coordinate this. I'll go bald again, and you can go bald with me. And we can then just call it the Dome Podcast.
There you go. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Oh my.
That's right. When I get out of the shower, this is how I dry my hair.
That's right.
And done.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. I spend absolutely zero money on shampoo anymore. It's a beautiful thing.
That's right.
Well, track number 4 is the single that they've had out for a little while now. I think it's charted. I do not know how high up the charts that it's gotten. Has it not charted even?
I don't think so.
Not even like the top 20? Really? That surprises me.
I don't know how, but I looked through like the place where the folder where my music goes when it goes and doesn't go anywhere else, and it's not there, and I know I haven't played it on the show.
Interesting. All right. Well, this is their single called Falling, and check this out.
But now all I want is you to take me and shake me and wake me up.
I don't know that I like that one as much as the other two, or the other three for that matter, but it's not bad.
Okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You're entitled to your opinion, even though it's wrong.
That's right. That's right.
See, it's just like we're on Facebook. It's just like we're on Facebook. Exactly. You know, that's how it works, right? I'll use my might to shout you down because I disagree with your opinion, and I don't feel that you should be entitled to it. If I wanted your opinion, Paul, I'd give it to you. Come on now.
That's right. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's right. That's right. I'll tell you what to say, and then you'll say it, and you'll like it too. Track number 5 is called White Noise, which normally is not something that you want to listen to unless you're trying to fall asleep at night and block out all the other sounds. So
absolutely.
Maybe that's what this track's supposed to do. I don't know. Take a listen and see what you think. Okay. Ooh, I'm seeing 2 thumbs. I'm seeing 2 thumbs up. Lots of props coming my way. You like that one?
I like it.
Oh, good. All right.
I like it a lot.
Good deal.
Yeah, see, and in that one, just in slight moments, also sounded like a scooch, maybe like Michael from Red.
Okay.
But man, it's like all the people that he sounds like, I'm like, yes, I like that.
See, this is fun for me because Fight the Fate is one of those bands that we got reached out to by a guy who had nothing to do with the band, just ended up discovering them at one point and found out about Broken FM and started sending us CDs.
Wow.
And we, the first album that they sent us was okay. It was what I would consider a typical first album. But the thing is that they'd had a different lead singer at the time. Things didn't work out for that lead singer, and so he ended up leaving the band. I don't know if he got kicked out or if he volunteered to leave. But then they found Zine and brought him in, and they re-recorded some of the songs off the album. And so we met them after they had done, I think they had done some of the re-recordings of that album, and they had a single that they had sent us, and we dug it. I mean, they definitely sounded good for as young as these guys are. I mean, they're in their early to mid-20s at this point. And so we were digging on it pretty good, and then they came and played at Joshua Fest when it was closer to me than it is now. So we actually had them up to the studio, and we got to meet all the guys in the band, and we convinced them not to eat In-N-Out until they came to the studio because they had never had it before. So we actually filmed them eating In-N-Out for the first time, and it's funny because they all took a bite of their burger at the same time, and like you could have heard a pin drop on the floor with their, they were all just so infatuated with their burgers at that point. So, and now it's like, of course, anytime they go anywhere, In-N-Out's got to be what they what they grab. That, it's just the way that it is now. But so it's been exciting to me. I felt for a long time that these guys have the potential to do a lot of good things. And it's funny, they put on their show in their little pavilion or whatever at the festival. 'Cause you know how these festivals go. They got like 13 stages, and some stages are playing at the same time as others and all of that kind of stuff. And they had, it was like all of a sudden after their show was over, a bunch of people went to the organizers of Joshua Fest and said, "Hey, we want to hear them again. Can you allow them to play at someplace else? Can you even maybe let them up on the main stage?" And Joshua Fest was like, "No, we can't do that. We're pretty tightly booked. Everything is the way that it is. I'm sorry." Well, they went around, the fans went around and got a petition put together and had a bunch of people sign a petition that actually Joshua Fest finally allowed them a slightly larger stage in another pavilion at like 11:30 at night, and they had probably 200 people that came to hear them play the second time.
Wow!
So
That's pretty cool.
it was amazing to me. I've never seen a group of people rally around a brand new band like that at any time before. So it was very, very interesting to me to have that happen. It's weird when stuff like that, but I just there's certain bands where you hear them in the early days and you feel like I think you guys have a pretty bright future ahead of you. So unless something massive happens to make it so that they like completely fall apart or whatever, I see them going a decent ways, at least, if they can get their stuff figured out.
I like it.
So, all right. Track 6. It's called Legacy. And this is something that Zine said he's been thinking a lot about lately. As he gets older, he keeps thinking about what is he leaving behind. So that's kind of the theme of this particular song. So let's check this out.
You've lost so much, but never given up. You still hold on and fight for what you love. But I have let you down 100 times before, and as the end comes near, I just need to know.
I like that. That's good.
You like that?
I do.
Good.
It's got good possibilities. I think that's a single.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I'm hoping that it's one they consider releasing later on. Bruce says it's U2-esque. I don't know that I'm there, but I've never been a big U2 fan, so that's
right. I don't know. I mean, the way that it's written still has kind of maybe a little bit of a Disciple-esque vibe to it, but I dig that. So, and it doesn't sound like they're trying to rip them off. It's just reminiscent of.
Yeah.
So, I like that. That's good stuff.
Good deal. All right. Track 7 is called Blue Windows. Now, if you're running Windows and you get a blue screen, that's normally not a good thing. So I'm not sure what Zine's on about here, but let's take a look and see. So there at the beginning, you heard a bit of the electronic, and then it dives into his vocal being intentionally overdriven, so it gives you that fuzzy wah kind of sound on it. But I don't know. What'd you think, Paul?
just before it cut off, it felt like he was channeling yet another person I like to listen to, which is Chester from Linkin Park. So,
there you go.
Man, I'm telling you, this guy's got some cool chops. I like this dude.
That's good.
And plus, he has a cool name like Zine. And if I find out his middle name is MAGA, I'm going to be really, really stoked and over the top, like, way up here. But yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's my thought, and I know I'm wrong, and I know I've also just heard like 15, 20 seconds of each of these songs.
Right.
But, I think that maybe the only mistake I can think of that they've made, one of two, is that number one, they didn't send me a single. And number two, I like every song I've heard better than the single.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, that's just one guy's opinion, and it's
right.
okay. You're not necessarily wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Well, they had management up until very recently, and he decided that he was going to retire and just kind of said, "I'm done. Bye." So they've been kind of scrambling a little bit, trying to figure out what they're going to do next and how it's going to proceed and all of that kind of stuff. So,
shoot, if all their stuff is that good, send them my way. I'll become a radio manager for stuff that's that good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's I've thought about maybe trying to recommend them to like Shamrock, something along those lines. I definitely think that they will have, I think, and I've said this earlier, I think these guys have a bright future if they can get somebody behind them that can give them the momentum that they need, give them that push to get them out in front of a bigger audience. So, that's my take on it. So,
sure. I go for it. I mean, guys, you got some good stuff there.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Track number 8. We've got 8, 9, and 10 left. Track number 8 is called Escape.
You can't escape the things you know when you don't know what you want. You can't run from the truth of it when you find out what it's worth. You can't stay true to yourself if you can't break the confines of the night. You can't escape. You can't escape. This love is what I need.
Just yes. 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 I don't even know what else to say anymore. It's just good.
It's like, get these guys a platinum record right now.
Take my friggin' money.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. I mean, that's good stuff.
All right. Oh, Bruce liked that one too. He said he liked that vibe in the chat room there. So I'm hoping lots of people will. I feel like I've been like promoting this band for so long, hoping that they'll get their due, and this is just another reason why I have a lot of faith in these guys. Let's see. Track number 9 is called Ascend.
Help me to see with your eyes. I wanna see what you see. The blue skies are calling me. Time to rise and say, time to soar high above the trees. Set with eagle's wings.
Yeah, that's another one that distinctly falls into the sounds a little like Disciple. And once again, not a problem. So yeah, I like it.
Good. All right. Track 10, last track. This is called Ahead_Behind.
I know that it's just waiting on me.
Yeah, I don't know that one's necessarily my favorite, but I definitely don't dislike it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
The lyrics are good. It's just talking about knowing that the road ahead is better than the life that I left behind. You know, we sometimes spend a lot of time looking back over our shoulder at stuff instead of focusing on what is ahead of us. And that was kind of the point that the zine was trying to make. He's tired of looking behind. He wants to focus on what's ahead and not dwell on the past. So there you go.
Cool.
So
likes it.
that is Fight the Fade and their self-titled album. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to hear the whole thing, like I said, if this is Wednesday night that we are recording this, so it's going to be Thursday, June 30th. Yeah, Thursday, June 30th is when this is actually going to air on Broken FM, 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can tune in, hear the interview we did with Zine, and then actually listen to the album in its entirety, start to finish, track 1 to track 10. We're going to roll straight through it, and I would encourage everybody to tune in and check it out. And then once you hear it, go buy the album, because I honestly think it's that good. It's worth spending your money on. The whole show is less than an hour, Tim says, so it's good to go.
Kill.
Let's see here. I guess let's dive into the song blender, Paul.
Okie dokie. So the song blender here. It
yeah, sure, you betcha.
Yeah. Chris will be thinking his Lucky Charms if he gets this one.
That's right.
So we're going to take a clip of a song that we know that Chris is familiar with, and usually one that he likes, and I think that this one definitely falls into that category. We're going to spin it backwards. We're going to change the pitch either up or down, and then play it for him. If he guesses it, then I feel stupid. If he doesn't guesses it, well, then I have bad grammar. So yeah, if he doesn't guess it, then we'll take the pitch bend off, still be backwards, see if he can get it then. And if, of course, he can't get it then he loses. And then we play it for him, and then we all mock him openly.
Exactly. And I am fine with being mocked openly, so... All right,
well,
so
and
go
let's
ahead.
also say for the record that last week I won.
You did.
It was beautiful.
Yes,
I don't even remember what it was,
did.
but it was cool.
Yeah, what was it? It was what was it last week? It wasn't Kevin Max. It was something I should have known. But for some
no, it was
reason...
Kevin Max.
Oh, was it Kevin Max?
It was Louis Solo.
Oh, right. Pacifist.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Okay, so here's the new one for this week. Wow.
He goes from being nice and melodic and polite to sounding like a demon from a video game.
Yeah.
Like all of 5 seconds.
Wow. I have no idea.
Ooh, goody.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I hope so.
Yeah. See, I got to put in my head that it goes from the rough part into the softer part. So I'm trying to flip it around in my brain so that I can think of it. Okay, I'm going to play the one without the pitch bend on it.
Okay, this is going to dramatically change the game. I just know it.
Okay, let me see what this sounds like. Okay, so I know it's 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Ooh, you good.
Okay. It only takes one spark. Dark 3 to throw it away. Give me one. I can't think of the name of the freaking song, though. 2, if you believe it. 3 signs that you're awake. It only takes one spark. Oh, my goodness.
So on the tip of your tongue, I can tell.
Oh, I can't think of what it's called. Tim says we've been warned if we play rock backwards, you might get demonic messages, and he guesses it's true now. It's
Brought to you by Tweaked Audio.
yes, exactly. Oh, I can't think of the name of the stupid song, Paul.
You're gonna feel so dumb.
It's
you practically said it like 3 times.
I can't think of the name. I cannot think of the name. It's too much pressure. I give.
For what it's worth, I think you get like at least 3/4 credit because you got the band name and you can sing practically the chorus.
Oh man.
Or at least the bridge. I don't know. Whatever you're going to call it. I'm not that musically educated. I just know what I like.
Right.
And I know how to play and talk about it.
And do it.
Just not very intelligibly.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what's the name of the song?
Play it and you'll figure it out.
Oh, let the sparks fly. I kept thinking Light Up the Sky, but I knew that wasn't right. Oh well,
You started singing, I'm like, he's gonna so know what that is because you're like, well, it takes one spark. I'm like, oh, spark. I was like, you got the first word minus 1 letter.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. I'll take 3/4 of a point. It's farther than most people get when we do this.
Yeah.
I think we should
impressed.
I think we should do a song blender on Facebook. I think we should take the song blender and put it on Facebook and let people see if they can figure it out. Because I'm curious. I cannot be the only person that their brain works like this. There's got to be more people out there like me. There has to be.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
So I don't know. Maybe we need to work on doing that and just take a clip and stick it up there and see who can figure it out.
Now the question is though, can we trust people to not just download it and then flip it around and change it?
Well, that probably not. Probably not.
Well, I guess if we didn't have any stakes for it, like I mean, if we weren't giving anything away, then maybe people would be less inclined to go through that.
Right. Well, and that's it. You know, it's not like we have anything to give away. I can give you a smile. That's about all I can give away right now.
Right.
So, oh my goodness. Okay, now you have 2 would you add it's, but I didn't see any noise trade picks this week. So
it's because I didn't edit the second one.
That's fine.
So
no problem.
I have one. I can give you a verbal recommendation, or I can just save it for next week.
Nah, we'll save it for next week.
Okay, sounds good.
So you have 2 here for You've got Christopher Anton and you've got page 2. So which one do you want to go for first?
Let's go for page 2 first.
Okay. You want me to just play it?
Yeah, sure.
It's a bit poppy for my taste, but I like it.
Okay.
So I could definitely, I would personally, if I were program director of a radio station, I would consider adding that to the rotation because it's upbeat, it's fun, it sounds good in my opinion. So yeah, I would definitely consider adding that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean it's in the Christian Rock 20 this weekend, partially because I didn't have a ton of new music this week, and partially because I do like it. It reminds me a little bit of Blink 182. Not in a little way, but it does.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
And I also think the production could be just a scooch better, but it's not bad.
Right. I agree.
So yeah,
cool.
Good stuff.
Okay. All right, now Christopher Anton and something. I can't read the whole writing.
And the Joneses. All
right, let's check this out.
Now,
go ahead.
I do have a fun story about this guy after we listen to the clip.
Okay. All right, let's check it out.
Reach out and touch faith. Your own
Well,
good cover.
Yeah. And it's funny because this is like the first thing that they released to Christian radio, and it's this cover. Now, here's the thing. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, okay, it seems slightly odd that it's like Anton, what's his face, and the Jones. I'm like, and I started looking through the bio information, and come to find out that this guy was one of the lead singers after the original guy left of the band Information Society. As in, I want to know what you're thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
now, because he sounded to me a little bit like a normal singing voice for Neon Horse. You know, like if the lead singer of Neon Horse wasn't doing his put on over the top type voice, that I could definitely get a vibe like what this guy sounded like.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
So no. I see what you're getting at, and I don't disagree. But it's also somewhat funny because it's really not that much of a departure from the original vocalist who did this song from Depeche Mode,
right?
Or all that drastically different in the instrumentation either. It's got like Bruce was saying in the chat room, it's a little bit more bluesy, I guess, kind of almost like a slightly rockabilly blues kind of sound, maybe added to it, but still it's not drastically different, and that's okay. I mean, I've heard like 5 different covers of this song,
right?
And usually they're not that far off because it's just a really good song, and it's kind of hard to change it too much without people just going, "Great, you took a perfect song and you screwed it up."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, I really like it. I think I played it maybe as like a secret track or something like a week or 2 ago.
Okay.
But I like it.
Good deal. Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's fine. Tim says he prefers the Johnny Cash version. But there you go.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like the Man in Black?
How many songs can you say have been covered by both Johnny Cash and Marilyn Manson?
Right. Exactly. That's got to be something to be proud of, I tell you.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, I think that is going to do it for us this week. If you guys have questions, comments, or concerns, go fly a kite. If you want to get a hold of us, I was waiting for a reaction, and Paul just kind of looked at me stone-faced.
Hey, I'm on board.
If you do need to get a hold of us for any reason, we have an email address, rockinahardplacepodcast@gmail.com. That's one way. Facebook is probably the easiest way to get our attention, so you can post there. Or you can check us out if you want to support us. You can check us out at patreon.com/RNAHP. That stands for Rockin' a Hard Place Podcast. And become a supporter of the podcast. It got me all choked up. I was feeling a little verklempt. You can become a supporter. Any amount is greatly appreciated. We've got a few supporters right now, and we're so thankful for them. They've allowed us to get our website and get the hosting all taken care of and all of that good stuff. So we love it and appreciate it so much. Anything I'm missing there, Paul?
Just one topic to slightly revisit as more of a housekeeping than a show topic kind of thing.
Sure.
A while back, we talked about whether or not we ever wanted to try to do T-shirts, and whether or not anyone would be interested. Well, since that time, I've discovered a site called T-Blaster, which is basically like Kickstarter for T-shirts.
Oh.
So you have like a limited amount of time. They handle it kind of like Cafe Press or some of the other sites, like Spreadshirt or whatever. So they handle everything. You submit the design, and then people can order as many, and they handle all the shipping and all that.
Okay.
And they do like quite dandy stuff, so it appears. So
cool.
Brandon from Indievision's been using it for his shirts.
Okay.
So if anybody has any interest in potentially buying a Rockin' a Hard Place T-shirt, assuming that the design doesn't suck, I know that that's kind of a given on any given pledge of, yeah, sure, I'd buy a shirt.
Right.
Understanding that, is there enough interest to bother? So if you guys are listening and you'd like to comment on the Facebook page and say, yes, would be at least interested, or no, definitely not, don't worry about it, then that would be helpful.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to put a post together and on Facebook and just kind of put it out there and see what people think. So good deal.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. And appreciate everybody taking the time to listen. Most assuredly. It's always fun. My name's Chris.
And I'm Paul.
And we'll do our best to see you next week, guys. Have a good one.